Ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news and some insider intel being shared by someone who was formerly working for Bank of America, a large, giant banking corporation. After you guys may recall me uploading a video with information in regard to what Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan stating that layoffs were not going to happen. Ironically, this person ceased their employment probably just a few days before that announcement was made. Now, as always, I can't disclose the identity of this person who's provided this information. However, if they care to comment in the comments down below, I will be sure to pin that comment so you guys can reach out. And if that person wants to include their business information, that is acceptable, because I know that they are actually out there looking for a replacement income source, another job, since their contract was canceled by Bank of America. Bank of America just basically canceled the account, which I'll give you more information on that in just a moment. Where do I begin? But first, it's freezing out here, which is just the other day, it was nice, warm, sunny Florida weather. Still relatively sunny today, but definitely colder, cooler, chillier, windier. But just in time, I received my Freedom Lover sweatshirt hoodie just in time from good friend, fellow creator, and news updater Stephen Gardner sent Michelle, Squirrel Tribe, and I.
Hello, my Squirrel Tribe. I got this box in the mail, and I opened it before realizing what it was because I wasn't expecting it. So I personally would like to say thank you to Mr. Stephen Gardner. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Stephen Gardner, but he sent the man and I some sweatshirts. And okay, one's an extra large and one's a large. I think the extra large should be for the man. It's a pretty color. Look, I'm going to open one of these so you guys can see it. Stephen Gardner, he does a lot of really, really good things for his channel. The man and I, we don't generally talk about where we donate money and what charities and what other channels we give to kind of help out their viewers and stuff. But we actually did give, I think it was $1,000 a few months ago to Stephen Gardner, because he gives out money to his subscribers to kind of help the people in need of help. And then did another $1,000 a couple weeks ago. And he sent us sweatshirts as a thank you, which I think is so cool. So these are the Stephen Gardner sweatshirts. I hadn't seen that yet. Oh, this is a good color. Hey y'all, turns out I can do brown.
Freedom Lover hoodies. Really do appreciate that. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much. But what I want to talk about is the situation that's going on with these banking systems and these banking institutions, especially with this particular individual story that was shared, ultimately leaving. Let me read you what one of his emails says to me. And it says, I filed unemployment and will continue looking. Unemployment in North Carolina is $350 for up to 12 weeks, a drop in the bucket from what I'm used to, but I will manage. So the 12 to 18 month contract I had did not last that long. This just comes at a bad time. My house and 2 vehicles are paid for, just owe some on the 2018 Tacoma and 3rd vehicle. I'm in pretty good shape. Wishing you and yours the best. Thanks for such an awesome channel, Kevin. Well, I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And interestingly enough, he says that his oldest son and his wife were on The Voice recently, so that's pretty cool. But I want to go into what happened, why he is no longer employed, what happened to his contract, and basically what caused Bank of America to just basically wipe this account out and just shut it down prematurely without any real notice or heads up. He says he was actually on his 4th contract at the bank. He says he was a contractor through Experis, Etain, Manpower. Experis and Etain were 2 recruiting companies that recently merged. And his contract was supposed to last 12 to 18 months. Now, I was told it was not due to performance reasons, and even have a screenshot of the text my recruiting firm sent me of my manager's recommendation. He says, I'm very good at what I do. I've been in IT for 42 years. One team I managed were engineers who were told every 2 weeks, agile sprint cycles, to rotate the role of Scrum manager. So yes, they are even asked to pick up the slack and work 2 roles. Now, this kind of goes into detail about what I was telling you about the retraining and elimination of employees and a reduction of workforce, and then tacking on added workload to the remaining employees if they want to have a chance at even possibly retaining their job. Unfortunately, after he was let go, the recruiter only told him that his job description changed. And Bank of America Corporation told him nothing, but he said that that's actually pretty normal. But all the communication goes through the recruiting firms. Now, he's actually since provided an even greater detailed breakdown that I want to go through with you guys and show you just about my job, what I manage, how I was let go, and different things like that I received on this email. And it says, here's a better breakdown. My job. I was a Scrum manager at BAC, Bank of America Corporation, kind of like a project manager. My contract ended up being 4 months when it should have been 12 to 18. I was over BAC Enterprise ATM updates and Enterprise Splunk body of work. I managed and tracked the work effort. My recruiter, now this is how I was let go, or how he was let go. It says, my recruiter told me my job description changed and I was not the only contractor she had to call that day, which was dated December 1st, 2022, which tells me more layoffs happened, and honestly, it doesn't sound like normal attrition changes. She told me I could immediately apply for other BAC jobs if I wished. Then he goes on to explain some of the processes and things that were going on as far as absorbing multiple roles within BAC. People are being told to work multiple roles at the Bank of America Corporation. That is happening right now with the Enterprise Splunk engineering team at BAC. The engineers on that team are being told to rotate the Scrum manager role every 2 weeks. This is unheard of. That's like telling a developer they need to be a QA tester too. A conflict of interests in regards to separation of duties and concerns, and against BAC policy, in my opinion. My job now spreads across a team to work. They are now performing my Scrum manager role in addition to being engineers. They spread my role across the team, proof people are being told to take on dual roles. And he says that this is a governance and compliance risk. I find it hard to believe that the bank's CEO, Brian Moynihan, is not aware of that, because the Agile Scrum governance folks have been told the dual roles are happening and that team, and no one took action against it. Again, this is a conflict in separation of concerns and duties, in my opinion. So, Bank of America basically just, terminated his contract, and I don't really know what's going on exactly with the relationship between the recruiting company and that account and Bank of America, as far as, did they just cancel the entire account? Are they letting everybody go? Did they find, what are they really doing? If anybody else out there has any intel on this, works for Bank of America directly or even contracted, perhaps maybe through one of these organizations or a separate organization, please reach out and let me know. My contact information is in the description. But this ties into exactly what I was telling you guys on the video that I posted just the other day about Bank of America not laying off employees and just letting natural attrition occur. So the thing is, with the natural attrition, even if it does occur, they're not looking to replace and refill the positions, thus reducing the availability of possible income opportunities for folks out there in these engineer, bank employee tech roles, okay? So that's one. But the other thing is that I told you that they're gonna They're going to delicately massage the wording on how they plan to execute on what their real intent is, which is to cut as many as possible, while adding and pouring and dumping more work on top of others, just because those folks are deathly afraid of losing their job and their steady income at a time like this, terrible time. So, not to mention the compliance issues and, illegal banking practices that go on every single day behind the scenes. It's just a matter of, will they get caught? And how much of a fine will they pay? That's pretty much what it boils down to. So the trick here is, though, Brian Moynihan can easily say we're not going to lay off employees. How? Why? Simple. As a contractor working for BAC through a recruiter, or even directly independently contracted to BAC, as a 1099 contractor, you are not an employee. Therefore, they're not laying off employees. They're still reducing their workforce. They're still cutting jobs. They're still canceling accounts and giving people the axe and sending them packing. But as far as the headlines go and the mainstream media is concerned, Bank of America looks like they're, smelling like roses, because we're for the people. We respect and honor our employees and are grateful for them and want to see them age out and retire versus being negatively affected and impacted by this economy and inflation and a recession and the Fed pushing for more job loss. Don't believe it, folks. Heads up, we're being lied to. And they're pumping out these headlines and these stories to paint a picture and make them look a certain way. But at the end of the day, there's some folks out there that really know the truth. And unfortunately, they know that truth because they are victims of that truth.